Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Lucid, and we're playing Late Age Ctis. We're getting towards the end of the game. It's turn 91, so things are going to go out of control in one direction or another. Let's see what happens this turn. A dire portent. This is important. We've had Ulm put up Astral Corruption, so that's going to change things a lot. I think this is kind of one of the great anti-fun spells of the game, probably rivaled only by Underdark. And that it means doing anything will kick you in your own ass. So if you forge gear, if you cast ritual spells, you're going to get screwed. The only way to spend gems without triggering astral corruption is empowering and battlefield magic that I can think of. Maybe there's something else. But yeah, this, on one hand, it's going to make it difficult for both of us to spend our Nexus income. Presumably, he's life after death some of his guys to have lower, or, to have some mindless guys so they don't get attacked by horrors. I certainly have. So I think I've got a fair number of them here. We're going to be moving some of them to do Flames from the Sky. Anyway, we're going to be moving a lot of them around. You can see we're, like, some of these low path guys, there's not really much I can do with them. I could maybe throw a Skull Staff on them, but, like, this guy, he's doing Ghost Riders. So we're sort of continuing business as usual, but we're not able to fully spend our gem income. What's going to be a good indicator of this is the Nexus income, which this turn was really high, 238. That's higher than normal. 119 to Ulm. But I think Ulm has also ended the nap with me. It's coming. We're about to be fighting them. But not yet. And we're going to keep doing this with him. As we asked when should we stop doing the Sickle Farm, and we'll keep doing that right up until the end of until the war starts. But yeah, like our god can't cast Wish anymore. It's a little too dangerous. She's not harm marked at all, so that's nice. And she has pretty good gear on. I don't think this gear would let her survive a Doom Horror. I'm pretty sure she would get roasted. There's a chance she gets a lucky roll on Crown of Overmight, but she'd probably be pretty toasted. She does have Twiceborn on, though, so there's that. I'm not worried about Wish to Kill. It'd probably be better to swap the Lead Shield out, but because she's not harm marked, there's really not much to worry about if I'm not doing anything with her. So anyway, that's pretty important. I think in some ways it hurts all more than me, because if you think about it, some of the things he doesn't know, but I've got a huge blood economy now. My blood economy is probably half of his. So it's 18, 36. We could count this up, but like 62 blood slaves. Look at that shit. 35, 43. We probably have, let's just count. Okay, 50, then 105, 150, 210, 240. Yeah, we're at 300 blood slaves. Oh, no, more than that. Like 325 blood slaves a turn. That's a big blood economy. Ulm is probably around 600 to 800 is my guess. I think they told me in Discord DMs when the game was over. But it's a big number. They've got a really big blood economy, but it's not that much bigger than mine. Yeah, we've been just burning provinces to the ground, blood hunting them. So we've got a good blood economy, which is good if you have Astral Corruption up. And then we've got this huge snake economy, right? Like, we're making a tremendous number of these things. Well, so when you look at our economy, we've got like our gem economy, we've got our snake economy, and we have our blood economy. Ulm basically has the blood economy and the gem economy. They don't have a snake economy. And the gem economy, let's say, is like half of their economy. If they're going to make the gem economy less effective by putting up Astral Corruption, You know, like if they weaken everybody on the board's gym economy by half, if we just think of it that way, not to say that's what it is, it's a much smaller fraction of my total economy. My gym economy is a total fraction of my whole economy. It's certainly less than Ulm's, because my worm economy is so huge. So I think it actually helps me, but the other thing is to do a big cast of it. Like if he did a big cast of Astral Corruption, he could have been spending those things on armies, which he's going to need to fight me. So I think in some ways, I think in how I would really think about it is I think it's kind of a wash in terms of who it helps most. I think it mostly just makes the game less fun to play. So that kind of sucks. But I think it's mostly a wash. It probably helps me a little bit more than it helps him. But most importantly, it's going to take away blood slaves he's going to need to marshal not only like very strong armies that can beat me, but mini armies. So, you know, that could have been blood empowerments to cast certain spells, you know, a bunch of things. Yeah. So this turn, we are continuing to move things in position to fight Ulm. And you can see they're starting to put a lot of things on the border. Ulm also, so Ulm does have another, they don't have a worm economy. They have a wolf economy, though, right? Because they get wolf herds in their cap. So that's kind of cool. Obviously worms are a lot better. But unlike the war with Arco, you can see there's pretty much most provinces have a fair amount of stuff in them. It's a little lighter over this way, but pretty much everything has big piles of stuff. And I think Ulm, so our map with Ulm is ticking down, but I can't remember what turn it's going to end on, but I think he was timing it with taking these last Arco forts. They're both popped now. Hopefully we'll get to see the fort battles inside them. Erythia, by the way, has decided to stay on top of this fort. We pinged it again this turn. Well, let's just go through the normal things, and then I'll go click around there. We cast the wolves here. We killed some Ducados. That was kind of cool. That's some extremely high-value wolves. We converted a bunch more of our guys. That's 44 more worms per turn. Or no, just per turn. Yeah. I don't know what this was. Clearly this is a mistake. Maybe he was casting this at us. That must be. And then Orthia attacked here. Yeah, maybe he thought these would be this must have been the same province. Yeah, these are both Illidar. So he must have thought the ghouls would take over ownership afterwards, but the long dead horsemen are still here, so they maintain ownership of the province. Okay, and then after the blood slave stuff, this is a gym bait. So Erythia has moved an army on top of my throne, and we are gym baiting him. You can see we were quite successful there. He did steal all of my shit, so those worms are now his, as is the Sarumancer. But I think we gave him an afflicted one. So we killed a mystic too, but mostly he came out ahead, getting 5 more worms. Yeah, so that's kind of cool. But very worth it. We could figure the thing this really stops him from doing is elemental spam. And if you recall, after many episodes of me talking about it, we're not great against elementals, right? So if he is like, okay, I'm gonna spend 60 or 70 gems on elementals, it's going to make his army wildly stronger. The thing we do okay against, see, like, we got some elementals out here. The thing we do okay against is like troop buffs and mage, evocations. So doing this is just going to make it where he can't, like, he's having to sit on this fort, and like reinforce, like with gym mules, all the gems he's spending every combat. I think we do that again here. Another gym bait. We're just bleeding him on gems. Didn't get a lot of elementals out this time, but this is just a big pile of guys. And It's oh god, what happens here? Okay, get out your popcorn. We found another Erythia. Oh yes, what a classic! What a fucking classic! Land shark, the shark. Yes. Oh god, that's so funny. The shark knights, they're really fun to give the amulet of the fish. Have some really funny thugs with that. Okay, let's just see what happens. Some of you may have seen the battle report. It's not gonna go great, guys. Not a lot of battlefield wides up. We have the storm, and that's about it. Our guys don't have any major buffs. We don't have Army of Gold on them. They do have an anti-magic. They don't even have Skeletal Legion. For shame. Yeah, this Golem probably is going to have a bad day. The smart guy's here trying to run. This guy's trying to get off the field. This guy's trying to get off the field. And there's moderate gem commitment on these guys. You know, Demon Bane, Armor of Knights. Most of them have 2 cheap items. But yeah, we're getting pulverized. And like that's over. The battle didn't even last long. We lost 340 worms. Pretty much all of our commanders because they had flyers. We had 1 white mage escape, including we lost our golem. And then he lost a fair amount of mages, though. He did lose like 50-something mages. He probably burnt out his communion again. Let's see if that happened. He was also doing a ton of evocation, so it could have been that. We could probably tell by... Okay, yeah, here are all the communion slaves. They're 108. Okay, I think the battle's over. They're all going to get turned into soulless anyway. Oh, it's not going to let me see their log. The other way to tell is going to be if we look at how many communion slaves there are before and after battle. So at the end, there's 35. And we can just check here at the beginning. Okay. At the beginning, there are 36. Okay, so these actually were Blood Vengeance kills. So I think the communion stayed intact the whole time. Yeah. But some things are weird, like it's not showing these guys getting any kills. Oh, it's attributing them all to soulless, okay. But yeah, these guys got blown the fuck up. So this actually was okay for us. Because a lot of these guys got turned into soulless. So he lost about 50 and a little more. And he... Okay, maybe it's not okay. He lost permanently about 15 guys. And then some chaff. So that's not great. That's not great. Was that, which one was that? This one? Yeah, okay. So let's go see what this was. Okay, so we got... I was playing some mind games with him, trying to get in the back line, or I can't even remember exactly what. But I almost want to go back and look at the previous turn. If you... Yeah. I forget exactly our movement plans here, but... This was more like kind of like the light raiding army. Like, it didn't have major support. We need to win fights against Erythia. So this is... I would categorize this. I was like, this is okay for us. No, this wasn't. This is this is the kind of defeat that they need to have on us, like, every turn. And if we were to lose battles like this every single turn, we would be in a very, very rough way. But there's a big difference between losing battles like this every turn and losing battles like this every other turn. Every other turn we can afford this. Every turn, if we lose a battle like this, we're probably going to start falling apart. But yeah. And we pinged this with wolves. Okay, so anyway, that's where this happened. I was trying to get this army somehow smuggled in through the back lines. Maybe we chose to stay. I don't know. It didn't work. Okay, Jira. Oh yeah, so Patala's taken to attacking me now. With Arco basically defeated, Patala has joined. Patala has joined the coalition against me. They were very friendly about it, though. I think they were like, hey, do you mind if we join the coalition against you? I was like, nope. So that was kind of cool. We're moving in a bunch of raiders, or counter raiders, to deal with these Nagini. And you can see just some people like on advance and cast. Hopefully they'll do Banefire or Disintegrate or something. Might not work. The other thing is we're preparing for a big cast of Gift of Nature's Bounty. You can see we're all the way up at 678. Okay, let's keep going. Ooh, another battle. I like that they're using Draconians too. They're a pretty versatile, beefy troop. Very high mobility, very hard to kill with nukes, good morale, good magic resistance, and then it's got a venomous bite, which isn't amazing, but it's okay. Trying Master and Slave. Your Jedi mind tricks won't work on me. Got too much MR. I wonder who was actually doing the, we'll have to go back and watch. I wonder who was doing the Master and Slave casting. So he's got a bunch of cubes, which are pretty good. But if we kill him, our worms pop back out. So you kind of need a critical mass where you can't kill all the cubes. Because we've got Rigor Mortis, so ain't nobody running now. And cubes, by the way, are not immune to Rigor Mortis. These mages are actually really hard to kill. They have all the communion buffs on them, so they've got, like, luck, life after death, a bunch of things. So yeah, the battle almost times out. Yeah, like 90 is when you start running, I believe. So, let's see who cast Master and Slave here, because that will give us an indication of how much gear he lost. So this is a major defeat for these guys. So the Fairy Queen has a lot of gear, is wired into a communion, and he's got morale gear on the Fairy Queen too, which is really good because they tend to run. And I believe we have Wailing Winds on our side as well. Master and Slave's about to come. Okay, there it is. Let's see who's the caster. This guy. Woo! Fancy. Yeah, that's a lot of pin. It's, or not a ton. He's missing Eye of the Void, but it's 7 pin. I mean, not 7 pin, 3 pin. Okay. And he's going to cast it again. Presumably he dies in this, because I think we killed pretty much everybody. Well, there's a chance he made it out. Now, where was that battle? In Pergami. So that was right here. This was one of our kind of major forces. And what you can see here, let's talk a little bit about it from our side. We brought a Tart to do Army of Gold, so that made a big difference. We've got some quickening casters, which is real nice. We've got a wailing winds caster. This is one of our air empowered liches. And this makes a big difference. And then we also have a holy 4, some guy wearing an immaculate shield, and he's going to do undead power. So here we've actually started doing more. This isn't maybe the full suite of stuff we can do, but you know, it's a lot of things. Like we probably have Skeletal Legion on everybody. Yeah, we've got like a lot of different yeah, so this is a super solid win for us. We lost one white mage, basically wiped out a major army in this region. Now, this isn't his whole army. He does have some stuff down here, presumably. But he had already evacuated a lot of his army over here to come try to contest these thrones over here. So because of that and suffering this defeat, it's unlikely he's going to be able to hold this throne. These guys, which we had been trying to get back here into the backline, are now going to get in the backline. But also, we've got tremendous numbers of armies here, which we're going to move into position and start sieging down forts. And basically, Erythia is at the breaking point over here. Losing this battle was pretty devastating. And like I said, we can afford to lose a fair number of armies and important mages and items and things like that. And we can replace it. We just need it to not happen above a certain rate. Erythia, if they stumble like this, that is going to have pretty dramatic consequences for them. So I think the consequence of this battle is we're going to get these 3 forts. Clearly, they're going to have some things to say about it. They've got Titans, Tarts here. They've got a ton of Draconian. I'm sure they'll be able to muster, you know, another 30 or 40 mages, but I highly doubt we'll see 100 mages, which is what they were using when they were, like, stomping the crap out of us. So I don't think 30 or 40 mages, especially with all that we've got packing over here that's going to be wandering its way this way, and especially when we're adding in some of our more fancy support with, like, Holy Fours and Army of Gold and things like that. I don't think that's going to be enough. And I think let's make sure we've made it through all the battles, and then I'll kind of... Okay, we storm an Arco fort as well. I think this is... where is this? So that's this fort. Did we take... yeah, we had already taken Arco's capital. Presumably we saw that the previous turn. I hope I haven't skipped anything. So let's walk around and look. So this is where we lost a major army. This was the battle that was like a true Erythian victory, where the losses, I would say, you know, the Solus aren't amazing in combat, but they're still useful. And certainly you can make them be like communion slaves or something, and you know, their bad MR is not really going to mess you up as much from Blood Vengeance as it would if you're a caster spamming evocations. But yeah, this was a great win for Erythia. We've kind of lost a lot of like our footing over here, and what we're doing, this fort is still, we could sit in it all day, but they'll be able to march this army. Like, this army's huge, right? So once this army gets on top of it, we'll be losing wall integrity here reasonably quickly. So we're going to go ahead and ride out here and see if we can fight this army, which we pinged, before this army can join up with it. So I don't believe it can get with any significant force on top of here this turn. So we're going to have Max doing Army of Gold. We're going to have Skeletal Legion and Rigor Mortis. We're going to do Strength of Gaia and then a bunch of Creeping Doom. And then we've got this guy who I think is just going to cast Howl and not much else. But Howl's actually kind of nice. Yeah, anti-magic. Nothing really too fancy here. I thought for a second we might have an air mage show up. I might be cloud trapezing somebody. That would be kind of a little nice extra stuff. But I think it's time to kick these guys off before these guys can combine armies on top of this fort. We're not doing our, you know, like, we don't have a ton of mages here, so I can't do any of like my fancy things I said I would do. We're where we're going to kick them off our fort by killing their army turn 1. They'll have to get on a fort that's closer to like my mage core. Like if they came over here, we could do it. Hey, can these guys make it over here? Not really. We can't make them in mass. If they come on like this fort, we would do it. But this one's a little too far away, and would require, I don't know. It's a little more tricky. So anyway, so we're basically losing ground on this front, but we might have a good win next turn. We're preparing to fight Patala, so that will be fun. We're patrolling right here to catch raiders. I think these guys might have been trying to sneak or something. I can't remember. This is important. This army right here on top of Ctis, on this fort, this is the one we really need to get. This is our highest priority kind of kill target. And the reason is because it's got the alteration site. I really don't want Erythia getting it. It's a throne, so we need it to win. Yeah, we basically really don't want that to happen. So basically, and I've also got a golem, I think, that's magic phase moving over there this turn. Hard to know where I put these things. I mean, it's going to be literally forever scrolling through all those commanders. Where's the golem? I'm not totally sure. There's a golem somewhere around here that I'm trying to get in there. Not that guy. Oh, is it this guy? I don't think so. Yeah, this is a big army in this fort. So, by the way, I made a decision, like, they've popped this fort with this huge-ass army. And this is, like, the killer army, right? It's got 100 mages in it or more. And we could fight it, but I think we would lose. So we're going to gym bait it again. And we're going to pile up a proper army here. So we've got like a ton of guys coming in. Basically, it's a lot of stuff from down here. We took this fort from Arco this turn. So yeah, these guys are going to be coming up. We're going to be having Wailing Winds. We're going to be having Rush of Strength. We're going to be having Blood Rain. Just the Wailing Winds Blood Rain combo is going to dramatically change the outcome of these fights. So I think it's one of the things that human armies are kind of going to struggle with, and they're going to struggle with even more. Our Dominion pressure is starting to get kind of nuts too. We're kind of in the runaway Dominion phase a bit. So fighting in our Dominion too, that's a minus. Instead of getting +1 morale from friendly Dominion, they're getting -1. So that's like this army is going to be in real trouble. They have damaged our fort a bit. I think we cast Iron Walls here, but yeah, anyway, that's hurt a tiny bit. And then I think this army is headed over this way, and the idea is to basically push through and then hit this flank, I think, with this army. Though I think we also have a small raiding force coming in this way. So yeah, basically we've got the war with Ulm is about to start. I can't remember if it's next turn or turn after. Erythia has kind of pried us loose up here, and we're a bit on the retreat in this flank. They're applying a tremendous amount of pressure on this flank near the most important province in the game, this throne, with 2 very large armies. But we're preparing to like wind up and swing at them. And by the way, these are the places we could potentially try to do the bone grinding play. I could have enough. I would need to move all these mages down here. We might be able to bone grinding them. I can't remember if I actually do it though. But this is an area where it could happen. I think I'm going to be inclined to take a normal fight and just really keep the bone grinding card in my hand for now, if I can win the normal fight. And the thing is, with Blood Rain and Wailing Winds and Army of Gold and like all those things, I'm pretty confident I'll win the normal fight. So we're going to be kind of leaning into that. I've also been gatewaying around some of these troops. Logistics has been too slow getting up to some of these areas. I'm not really... I think like I gatewayed some here this turn, actually. I don't think these are all from... I mean, maybe not. I can't remember. There's going to be more... Am I gatewaying here? Oh god, there's so many guys to click through. I'm telling you. This was my life. Clicking through this thing. And that's the other reason I tried to move a lot of the commanders out of this province, was I didn't want them piled up so enormously high. Okay, this guy's doing Ritual of Returning before he jumps over to that throne. But this is an Astral 5 Golem. This is how high you need to get a Golem in order to do Wish. So he's going to do Ritual of Returning, then he's going to Gateway over here. Not Gateway, Teleport. This guy is Gatewaying, right? So we're Gatewaying him to... Is he going to tell me? But it normally does it when you hover over... I don't know. Anyway, he's Gatewaying over this way. With 130 worms. We kind of screwed up. You usually want to put... there's like an undead leadership item you want to put on them too. For whatever reason, we didn't have that. So anyway, we're preparing for huge battles over here. We are Pride Loose in the north, and Erythia is Pride Loose in our west. So they're going to be on the defensive over here, and we're going to be applying a ton of pressure. I've also been Magic Phase Forwarding over here to kind of consolidate gains and to get Dominion spread. And this kind of just, yeah, we're basically going back to, you know, what I had said about some episodes ago about kind of the boa constrictor strategy, which was like the strategy that Lincoln used to win the American Civil War, where you just apply pressure where they aren't and you just gradually constrict them. Erythia has basically made the decision to deploy his armies down here and then also like over here. And he had some armies over here, but they've gotten out of position. Some of them got defeated. There's now not enough armies over here, right? So we've basically been, and this has been happening for a couple turns. I haven't really been talking about it in the video here, but it's very clear. It was very clear to me in the game that for a few turns, Erythia has been shifting forces from this front, where after he won this major battle, over to these other fronts. Like this army of 640 dudes, it wasn't this, like I knew where it came from. All right, it came from over here. It didn't just magically appear. And because of that, like, this is a great time to put some wizard towers up, right? He's not going to siege these down anytime soon. And we get to spread our dominion and things like that. So, yeah, we're basically just putting a ton of pressure where he's not. And let's go ahead and go to the next turn here. Turn 92. All right, turn 92. This will definitely be the last one for this turn. We're already at 32 minutes. And I have a feeling this turn is going to be way more exciting than even the previous one. So here we're getting attacked by some horrors. Apparently they were trying to mind hunt someplace where I had a golem. Which is kind of strange. Maybe they didn't know there was a golem there. It's possible it didn't show up in the report. We get another 40 of these Solus, so you can see that that this factory we have is not stopping, right? Last turn we got another 40. This turn we're getting another 40. That's crazy. That's crazy. Magic site, Lake of Living Water. Okay, so an assassination attempt. An adventurer tried to kill our lich. That's not going to go well. We got attacked by a spine membrane horror. That's fun. And we tried to assassinate a scout. Very fun. Okay. There's a battle in Raga. And this is us going on top of PD. Okay. Patala and Erythia fighting. That's kind of funny. Oh no, they were fighting over our province. So Patala came in here with an elephant group. 5 elephants, but we killed a few of them. And then Erythia came in with a single guy and killed one of the elephants, but the other elephant killed them. I believe this is the last time we do this, because I don't think the war with Ulm has started, but it's about to, because he wanted these forts to finish. Let's see what this is. So Erythia is attacking here. I can't remember if this is... Yeah, this is our Pokemon Golem. So there's a few things here. There's, I believe, a Wraith Lord and maybe a few mages. And we soul slayed him too, so we got the Wraith Lord real good. Well, that was in here. Where was this? Here? Yeah. So permanently killed this Wraith Lord. Very nice. And then, you know, some of the other chaff. I think there's a big battle here in Pergami. So here we've mixed it up. We've got the Queen of Storms here. So she's going to be doing Armor of Gold. I mean, Army of Gold. Mass Flight and Fog Warriors, most likely. And Golem. We've got Wailing Winds. I think this... I will have to check. I think this is the area where we had, like, won the previous fight. Kind of the area that they've been evacuating. Oh, he comes out swinging with Master and Slave. Another that looked like Undead Mastery. And it's looking like he's going to stomp us, but he doesn't have a ton of mage support. Who has Howl up? He has Howl held up by this Fairy Queen. We have Wailing Winds, though. And the Fairy Queen has run, so Howl is down. And Darkness is up. Looks like we're actually going to win this. Yeah, this was very close. So let's see where Pergami is. This is where I was saying. This is the fort that we just won the battle on. And we didn't choose to retreat. We chose to hold our ground. So... Oh, wait, what was this? Oh, wait, this was the battle. Yeah, so most of the Mage Corps ran, is basically what happened. And then we lost a lot of our worms. But we didn't lose any mages. And then we had a follow-up battle inside the fort. And just a few good worms. That's all it takes. So, yeah, we've taken this province now. So that's actually kind of huge. Erythia's army has now twice been kind of smacked. This, not as big of a deal. He lost some liches, which are immortal. These guys are going to become... And then he lost 2 mages and some garbage, right? So didn't actually lose that much. In some ways, sort of came out ahead. Got 16 more worms that probably retreated with him. So, yeah. This army is also pretty badly beaten up. But this other army came over here, laid siege to this fort, and there's nobody... We didn't one-turn pop Raga, but there's nothing in the area, really. There's only this, right? Oh, did we ride out here? Oh, we didn't. Oh, so here's what happened. Erythia thought that we were going to come and fight them here. And so they combined armies. So this is the full force of Erythia. This is their combined army from both of those forts. It must be 130, 140 mages. And we do manage to gym bait it. Get a few elementals out. Okay. So that happened, and we have grouped up a bunch of stuff here, and they took this fort, right? So, this is the first fort we've lost all game, I think. Maybe we lost one more. Hopefully we can get it back, but we'll see. You can see we have just tremendous amounts of reinforcements coming in. This has been a priority for us, getting reinforcements over here. We gatewayed a bunch of troops over here. I can't remember which one of these guys it is. But we are going to go, like, ping this, but we don't really have enough. No, look, it does look like we're moving patrolling. Okay, I think we're moving patrolling both of these forts. So I think our plan is, whichever province he goes to, he's going to fight an enormous number of worms. With, like, our top-end Wailing Winds, whatever, Blood Rain, all the things, mage support. So we're planning, we expect... I don't think Erythia even really has a choice, right? They can't sit still. we've kind of got them out positioned on the map. Like, we're taking infrastructure from them. They just took one from us, but like, we took a fort from them this turn here. We've taken another one here, and let me tell you, the clock is ticking on these, right? They could try to fall back. I think that's also a losing move. I think as Erythia, you basically have to take this juggernaut of an army and attack. The problem, of course, is we're going to be Flames from the Skying it with our mindless commanders, and yeah. And we're going to be patrolling these forts. I think we have a good chance at winning these battles. So that'll be really fun to see which province they go to. Yeah, we're attacking Patala as well. So doing some light raiding on Patala. So that's fun. Did we cover everything? That was Pergami. Oh, we got a big battle here. Holy crap. Oh, right. So this is us breaking out of this fort that Erythia was sitting on, where we didn't want them to combine armies. So we're like, okay, time to break out. So we've got Max back here, the Phlegron Tyrant. Or the Laestrionian Tyrant. And there's a fair amount of good stuff over here, but there's just not really the troop quantity. So we're going to have our little worms right on top of their Mage Corps. I think this was like maybe 50 mages and like, 150 troops? That's just not enough here. Yeah, we had Hal too. Hal's actually really good dealing with... I wish I kind of cast that more this game. I think we stole this, by the way. Yeah, Hal's really good at dealing with, like, enslaved mind spam. So, yeah, we lost the Golem and we lost the Tomb King. But yeah, it was, in total, about 60-something mages and about 200 troops. Or not 200, like 150. And yeah, they weren't... It was, yeah... Erythian hoplites and terracotta soldiers just wasn't it wasn't enough troops to keep the worms off the mages, I think. Plus, we had pretty good magic support. This wasn't terribly close, but this is another one of the kind of victories. We've spread Erythia thin. They've got to fight with what they've got. They can't be they can't be just getting off my forts. So they've got to be making plays, and they made a play here. They went for this fort, and you can see they were moving in reinforcements. This army here was designed to come and assist this, add much needed bulk to the army on top of this fort. Well, now that army is gone, right? Yeah, that army is very dead, and it's not like they got turned into soulless. These mages are gone for good. So we're going to be bulking up this army, adding a bit more to it. Then we'll probably be looking to raid these two Erythian forts. Our goal with Erythia, even still, is we're starting to think about thrones. And I'll pull up the thrones real quick. We've got 5. All the thrones are claimed. We've got 5. Ulm has 6. You need 8 to win. So Ulm could go for a throne rush. That is actually kind of the most likely way that I lose right now, I think. But there's not much to do for it except to go after Erythian thrones. The best way for Ulm to throne rush would actually be Erythian thrones. I don't think he could take any from me. Because I've got like my god and stuff who could like gateway in enormous, like a 500 like a 500 worm stack in addition to whatever's in every throne. We're just not very vulnerable to it, I don't think. Yeah. So, yeah, we've got a few more thrones we have to get. We have to get 3 more. Ulm has to get 2 more. And, yeah, so that's this front. Did we cover everything? This battle we just saw. Pasture of Wisdom, another battle. Pergami. This is us storming that fort. We already watched that battle. Ulm taking one of the last Arco forts. Erythia, this was them taking that fort from us. And Ulm taking the last Arco fort for him. So he's now ready to fight. He might want one more turn before the conflict starts. But you remember last time it was like 230 or something gems we got? It's down to 77. So it's way, way down. We're going to be getting our side of the spending back up a bit. But yeah, it's... And this is going to hurt Ulm. Ulm needs that gym income as much as I do. Probably more. I mean, he needs it more than I do. But yeah, so this army, I think we're going to be focusing forces down here. Like, this is an enormous force with lots of quickening casters, like major air and earth support. Yeah, this is going to be an unresistible force. We're about to stick on top of this fort. And after we take this, we'll come over here and take this. There's nothing that Erythia is going to be able to do about this. It's just basically like clockwork, going to be taking those, I think. But this is going to be very exciting what happens over here. And I think we'll leave it there for this turn. The other thing that's going to be coming up, and I don't think we're doing it this turn because I still have my nature pile, is we are going to be doing Gift of Nature's Bounty reasonably soon. So that's fun. And look forward to seeing you guys in the next episode. Until then, take care.